I'm here with Wildturtle and Adrian, 3-0 now for Immortals, so off to a good start. However, this looked like the toughest game for you guys so far. So Wildturtle, coming to you first, what was it about this game that made it so much more difficult than, let's say, an 18-minute perfect game last week?
Honestly, I think TSM played really well that game. Despite the mishap in the 2v1, they played the mid game and they were really good at pressuring the map. And it was really hard for us to do what we wanted because we usually were able to do a lot of plays, like get the Huni split pushing going, but they were able to negate that early on. Like Hanser was actually winning that matchup for a little bit until Huni got more items. Yeah, I think TSM were in control from some of that game, but we eventually got control back at the Baron fight, which was pretty awesome.
The Poppy Fiora matchup was definitely a fun one to watch. Adrian, I got to come to you. Explain to me the level one that happened here, because it was very tough from our perspective to kind of figure out what all was planned and what was being done in the moment, because you guys had that late invade onto the Gromp, which was the same side that their jungle and top laner were starting on, and then we saw this kind of continuous dance around the top lane turret. So can you kind of break down what exactly happened in that level one?
We wanted to secure a lane swap and to secure that side of the jungle, but they did the rolls for some reason, and then they were completely on the wrong side of the map when they were lane swapping. And
so when you run into a situation like that where you have this plan, how did you guys pivot, and what's the communication like on the team? Who's taking over as the main shot caller in these early stages of the game, reacting to what was planned and then what actually happened?
I think everyone was just talking and giving their opinions, and we just picked what we felt was best.
All right, fabulous, and it ended up working out for you. However, as you mentioned, TSM had a lot of control throughout the game, so ultimately we ended up finding ourselves outside the Baron pit. We had the steal come in by Rainover, and a lot of people would point to that as being one of the places where the game kind of turned. Wildturtle, to you, the dynamic of the team seems to always allow for, so far what we've seen, kind of this positive energy where a play like that will always be available to you guys. Do you feel like through practice and games so far that you guys have kind of reached that S-tier status as a team in terms of dynamic and the way that you're able to communicate and make split-second decisions around the map?
Yeah, I think our communication is really good. We still have a little bit of mistakes. Sometimes people are on the wrong page, but overall I think our team communication is pretty on point. We usually don't miss a beat when it comes to plays like that. We know what we want to do, and I think we just executed well. TSM did play well around that, but I guess they had a big throw at Baron.
Now, naturally, a 3-0 start, a lot of people start looking at you guys as, well, is this going to be the next 18-0 team? Are they going to go on so expectations can definitely be high, and then throw on top of that the 18, 20-minute second, perfect game last week. Adrian, how is the team dealing with some of kind of the rising expectation and pressure that adds?
I don't think anyone really feels any pressure to play better. We just play the same with everyone. We don't underestimate anyone or overestimate them. We just play it the same.
In this game, TSM, Immortals, you've had experience now playing on both. What would you say is the difference between your experience on TSM and Immortals that let you come out on the victorious side this time around?
I think I just have a lot more freedom on Immortals because I just pick whatever I feel like is strong, and I give my opinions on what I feel is strong. So it gives me more confidence on what I'm buying or what items I'm buying and what champions I'm playing. And I just have a lot more freedom around that, so I definitely feel more confident in my champion, so I think that contributes to my play a lot.
In this matchup, we saw the Corki versus the Caitlyn. Can you just speak to me as a marksman about kind of the strengths of Caitlyn's? Irene mentioned we haven't seen too much of it played as of yet, but she is kind of creeping her way into the meta. What are her big pros versus cons?
I think her biggest pro is how the traps work now, because you can get 5, and late game, I'm pretty sure people are maxing Q, and then the traps right after, and once you get the traps max, you have a lot of pressure on sieging turrets, objective control, and Caitlyn's definitely really annoying that game. She was zoning us from ever walking up to get any mid vision because she had 5 traps in the mid lane, and that was pretty annoying. So that was her biggest pro. And one of her cons is I don't think she's too strong early game, and she's strong, but she's not like Kalista strong, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, finally, Energy tomorrow, Adrian, the other undefeated team left in the North American LCS. What are the big things that you guys are looking at to attack when you take into consideration the roster that they're fielding?
I think their 2 Koreans, Impact and GBM, are really good, but I think ours are better.
All right, I like to hear that confidence coming out of these guys. That will no doubt be a fantastic game tomorrow. Congratulations once again on the victory today. Now we're going to head off the Rift for 3.5, but when we return, we'll follow Team Liquid as they look for their first win against Counterlogic Gaming. Stay with us.
Wow, the tornado from Fog.
Yeah, I mean, just a flash ult on a doublift totally deletes him from the map. And like you said, tornado from Fog to set it up. Turtle went in as well. Like, the whole team just decided to commit.
Yeah.